Here we go. We got some new rubber up front, some Michelin Agilis. Nice fresh tires. So let's see what that does to the way this coach drives. Now it is worth noting, new tires, brand new tires especially, can be a little more squirmy. And this is what our local tire store recommended. I did go with a more, I'll say, aggressive kind of tread. We're running these on our Sprinters, the Michelin Agilis, and they are a good tire. I am kind of thinking they're, especially when they're brand new, probably a little squirmy for the front of these. Like my return to center is maybe not quite as strong as it was, but we'll see. Get that on the highway here. That's not too bad. Basically it gets to last 90 degrees or so. Can definitely feel before that tire was causing a pretty strong right hand pull, where now it is more neutral. Well, neutral other than whatever the crown is trying to do, because it is still following the crown of the road. Alright, now let's see how we do. Our return to center is not great, but it definitely feels more neutral now. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's a pretty big difference. I'm not having to hold constant pressure on it. That's a big difference. Run out pretty smooth. Yeah, you can see I'm definitely not having to do as many corrections on the wheel now. Now this will be kind of interesting too to compare with rut tracking, because in this same area before, we were definitely catching the ruts more. Now we noticed that more after swapping the tires, but before doing the alignment, because the way this thing was aligned previously, or not aligned, was kind of counteracting the pull of the tire. So the alignment, the way the caster split was, kind of made it want to go left. Typically we want like a ½ degree split to kind of fight the crown of the road. Wow, a little bit of a left-hand pull there while braking. That's really love that. You'd have to try that again. But yeah, we had that, the tire making us want to go right, and then the alignment, just more of a caster split than what we typically would want. I think it was over a degree. That was really sending us left. So the two of those were actually canceling each other out and making it track fairly straight after we swapped those tires around. But then after we got it aligned better, with more of an optimum caster split, that tire now took over and made us want to go to the right. Now that we got rid of that tire, we're definitely tracking straighter now. Along with that, I can feel that play again. Now that we got rid of that pull, I'm not having to hold constant pressure on the steering. Now I'm more conscious of that slop in the steering. Also a little more conscious too of the ruts. I can feel them a little bit more, but I still would say they're not as bad as it was before we got the alignment done. That extra caster, coupled with running more toe in, together, those are fighting that rut tracking a little more. We're not quite as easily pushed around. Still a little bit of shake in the wheel. Interesting. With brand new tires, new Michelins, we've still got a little bit of shake there. See the changes. It's driveline related. No. Doesn't really seem to change with driveline. Yeah, see, now we're going left there. We'll get over in the right lane here. Still that bump steer. Or I guess more of a bump shimmy. Yeah, but about 65. Notice a little bit of vibration there in the wheel too. So I'm not sure. Hopefully these tires are round, they're brand new. It's possible one of our, steel wheels, that's a very likely culprit, is just the wheels are not quite true. Those stamped steel wheels, a lot of times you'll get some run out in those. So that could be contributing. Yeah, it could be that they're not quite mounted totally true on there. As well, sometimes you get a little bit of slop with a hub-centric wheel. I think for this time I'm gonna take it down to the scale and then turn around. I'm not gonna go on the back road. I think I want to get just a little more of a highway feel with this thing now. 65 miles an hour, a little bit of, yeah, I could even feel, man, you can just feel that steering wheel just back and forth, not just the shimmy, but also as the road surface is changing, just that slight little bit of a mind of its own. It's a strange feeling. I've not driven one of these before. Was going left while braking, but yeah, I am feeling a little bit there. A little bit of a left-hand pull braking. Here's where, all right, the road kind of curves left a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of following that crown a little bit. Oh, just forgot my turn here. All right, brake test. Yeah, it does want to go left a bit. They're braking. So far from a stability standpoint, I wouldn't say that I'm feeling an alarming difference in these tires. Now, it's the front axle. You don't have as much weight pushing around on the front on these things versus the back. That more aggressive tread, I do kind of wonder if I'm going to regret that decision. It's going to be a little too squirmy. So far, it doesn't feel too bad, even for being brand new. They're definitely good tires though, so should ride smoothly. Wow, Yeah, you can see that wheel rocking around there. Traffic to clear, turn back onto the highway here. Yeah. Doesn't run too bad. Those V10s, they do like to rev. Yeah, just over 60. There's just a little bit of vibration kicking in. Some of that could be from the back as well, but it's a nice sweeping curve here. All right, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna go back on the old highway because I didn't drive it this last time. John drove it, and I really want to see how the bump steer compares through there with a little more caster. That bounce. Yeah, I haven't felt too much of a extra squirm up front in terms of cornering stability. Just, I think really just because it's more neutral, it's not really wanting to pull to the right. The return to center is kind of equally mediocre in both directions. I'm sure you feel, yeah, you definitely still feel that plate steer. That's somebody walking here, so if you can't go quite as fast. All right. Back up to 45. Spots of bounce wallowing. All right. Here's a good little section here. Oh yeah, see out on the left. Gosh. It's hard to really show it because I gotta keep correcting, but yeah, right there. You can see it rocking back and forth on its own. It's tracking pretty straight though. So yeah, except when it darts on me as the road surface changes. On average, it's tracking straight. It's just sometimes it turns that way, sometimes it turns that way. Here comes the bump. It wasn't what you would call a relaxing drive. Yeah, it's still, the return to center is certainly better, but not great. When you get it out up to highway speed, then it does come back a little better there. So that caster is definitely helping. I am really curious to see how much of a difference we're gonna feel. So right now, we've got, yeah, 4.9 degrees on the left side, 5.5 on the right. So we'll see if we can gain another half a degree or more. We went with the biggest offset ball joints we could find, so that way there's no question we are testing exactly what a good alignment will do for one of these things. Certainly helps them. I mean, yeah, it is absolutely better to drive now compared to where it was before. And I mean, getting some better front tires on it helped it as well. But we've still got the bump steer. We've still got the play. Still got the rough ride. Still got the sway. Still got some tail wag out. Feel that a little more higher speed changing lanes. So there is, I think there's going to be a lot of room for improvement still after we get that caster jacked up. But I'm really curious to see how much more difference it makes. Yeah, like right here, smooth road. It's not bad. If all the roads are perfect, the lanes are wide, the semi-trucks stay far away from you, then maybe, yeah, maybe you don't need to do much to help these things drive better. But again, that's just not reality. And again, I say need, being I'm somebody who drives older cars myself. Okay, my daily driver is a 95 Cherokee, so I understand putting up with a little bit of imperfection, so I get it. But what I like to tell people is, you know, do you need, you know, people say you need to put all this work in it. You don't need that. You don't need sway bars, you don't need shocks, you don't need a track bar. It's like, okay, well, can they help you though? You don't need a motorhome. Would you like that motorhome to drive nicely though? And I'd say I would. I mean, especially if I'm putting very many miles on in a day. If I can be less fatigued when I'm at my destination, if I can have more fun enjoying the country while I'm driving. Also, I'm traveling with little kids, not right now, but when we take this on its maiden long voyage up to northern Washington, I will be traveling with little kids. So for me, there's already going to be some level of stress there with traveling. Anything else that I can do to make that drive less stressful, I think will be beneficial. So I'll find out. Alright, well, going back onto Henderson Lane here. We'll get this thing parked again. And next step will be to really max out what we can do with alignment. So as much caster as we can possibly get safely. You know, still making sure that our other specs are good. And I'm gonna try to adjust that steering gear too, see if we can get some of that slop out. That would be pretty cool if we could do that. All right, well, till next time, you all enjoy safer and happier driving.